Hey, you guys, welcome to another awesome episode of the Heavy Hitter Podcast. I'm here with Josh Johnson in Minnesota again. Say what's up, Josh.
What up, heavy hitters?
There he goes.
What up,
My name's
Lopdown?
Steve Loper. I'm in North Carolina. Today we have three important topics to talk about. Important is it important to you? I don't know. It's important to me. And that's why me and Josh picked these topics out. Twitter Monday motivation, 2018 graduates, and the importance of passion. Josh, how the heck have you been? We're going to cover these topics. Let's summarize the weekend for me real quick.
I've been awesome, man. Did an open house this past weekend in Hopkins, and took some buyers out. And then Mother's Day, man. Mother's Day was real good. Saw the three different moms and tried to treat my wife like a queen. How about you, bro? How was Mother's Day? How was the weekend?
Mother's Day was good. We just focused on Mama here at the house. Called my parents. She called her parents. Basically, we went to the pool yesterday.
Yes.
We took 3 beers, and she took a bottle of wine. Yeah, I think a beer and a bottle of wine. And we were supposed to be leaving. We were supposed to be there from 1 till 4. Well, it wasn't long enough. So I drank my 3 beers, started bumming beers from my buddies. And next thing you know, she was a 1 beer in, and then everything but 1 glass of wine left in her bottle of rosé. So,
yes.
yeah, it was an absolute beautiful day. It's probably like 95 degrees. The pool opened. It was the second day the pool was open. We had a blast. Cooked a big dinner last night. We treated her kind of like a queen.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Okay. For one, it's bullshit. She came home with 1 glass of wine. Like,
pool closed.
Oh, pool closed.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they're kicking us out. She finished it when she got home.
Good. The lifeguard on duty is like, time to go. Yeah. So you guys live in a community where you have a community pool then?
Yep.
Dude, what is that like? Like, just tell people, like, is that like, what is it like? I always thought that would just be the shit.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's ran by the homeowners association. So I mean, it's not included in your dues. You have to join it separately, but it's only like a few $100 for the summertime to join. It's got a kid pool with like 0 entry and a water slide on one side of it. It's got a clubhouse, and then it's got the Olympic size pool on the right. And that's sort of the adults where all the middle schoolers, all those kids are hanging out. But it's awesome, man. I can walk there. I can ride my bike there. I can drive the car up there and drop off the coolers and whatnot. I love it for the aspect of community. You know, I can send the kids up there on their bicycles.
That's awesome. How far away is it? Like half a mile away?
Not even. If it was midnight and I screamed off my back porch, you could scream back at me. That's how close it is.
All right, cool, dude.
Like, as the crow flies, it's hundreds of yards. It's not far at all.
Love it, dude. Yeah. So cool. What do you want to start with today? Monday motivation or what?
Yeah, that's it's trending on Twitter. I guess that's probably going to be a popular trending on Twitter on Mondays.
I see Gary Vee talking about it. I don't know what he tweeted, but so what? I mean, what do you got to say about Monday motivation?
You know, it's about starting your week off positive. You know, I know people are trying to be motivated. A lot of people need to be motivated for Mondays because they work for the weekend. It's the beginning of what's for a lot of people a rough week. Maybe they're not in love with their job, or they're working a lot of hours, and that weekend's whenever they get the break. So it's hard to kind of kick that restart button. But as far as motivation for me, how do I do it and how do I get motivated? I guess it all starts off with getting the kids up and getting the kids off and making sure the kids are happy for the week. Not so much selfish reasons for me. Like, do I love my job? Love it? No, it's probably an overstatement. Don't really love it, but getting up and getting motivated. I just go in there and wake up my kids in the morning and say, hey guys, daddy's off to work, give them hugs and kisses. That's where I pull my motivation from. It's not groundbreaking or anything like that, but it's just really seeing them and knowing, hey, daddy's got to get to work, got to make the money, get the bills paid, and keep providing for these kids. I want them to live life like I never got to. So that's up to me to do that.
Right. For sure, dude. For sure.
What about you, man? How do you get going on a Monday morning?
Man, that's tough. One of the things that it's funny because actually this morning, and it was like this last Monday too, my oldest son, Brooks, he's like, Daddy, I don't want to go to daycare today. I'm not feeling good or whatever. It's funny at 4 years old that they're already starting to learn that. But which is really weird because I don't portray any of that. Like I'm very careful about what I say, how I act. So it's strange how he's getting that from, or where he's getting it from. But I said, hey buddy, it's like, that lovely beach vacation that we just took, to shout out to St. Petersburg, the Sunshine State, where it's sunny 361 days. I said, hey, if you want to do stuff like that, mommy and daddy have to work. Like, we got to work hard. And it's funny how quickly his attitude turned around and was like, okay, I guess I can go to daycare today. I don't know, man.
I see how it could be different for a kid too, man. They're at home with the two people they love the most in the world, and now they have to go away
Right.
from them. I mean, the kids learning all that stuff, but that would be hard. I can imagine.
For sure, man. Well, especially because, we call Saturday and Sunday like family days or whatever. And yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
So, sometimes it's hard to get motivated on a Monday, folks. And that's just the way it is. But I always like to remind myself, and I don't know if it's coming from like Gary Vee, or I don't know if it's coming from, one of the books that I absolutely love. It's almost like a manual of how I live my life, the Straight Line Leadership. I always think of it as in terms of, sometimes I think motivation is a bunch of BS in terms of, so what you're not the most motivated, so what you're not the most confident, so what you don't feel like doing it. Like, just do it anyway. Like, just do it and do it and do it and do it, right? Like Art says, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you got to do it.
Yeah.
And it's really weird, but sometimes just going to that place of like, I don't feel like doing it. I'm not motivated. I'm just like, so what? Do it now. And sometimes like going to a dark place almost just makes me more motivated. Like, you just got to get on that train.
Yeah, I was listening to something this morning. They were talking about positivity and how important it is just to start off your Monday with a positive outlook. Even your Sunday night, just think positive about the week, push out the negativity. Like, if you sit there and you're in a bad mood and you're dwelling on something negative and you keep dwelling on what's negative, well, hell, all negativity is just what's filling your head, and that's what you're becoming, is that negative person. So if you can try to figure out a way to push that shit aside, think about something at the end of the tunnel, at the end of the week, that's positive and nice that you're working for, and just try to keep that positive attitude, man. It takes work. It's some people can get there by reading quotes, by watching videos, by doing yoga or something along those lines, but just push out the negativity. Your circle of friends, if you have a negative person that's in your circle of friends,
get rid of them.
Audit your circle of friends, right? Get that bad apple away. Negativity is a cancer in the workplace. It's a cancer in life, man. Just separate yourself from that shit.
Right, man. Well, that's the thing. If you're not motivated, you're not a positive person. I mean, surround yourself with those people.
My wife sent me a message this morning. It looks like one of her bosses sent it to her. And it says, if you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you are always in the same place.
For sure.
It's good stuff. Just little things like that you can read, and it can make all the difference in the world.
For sure, man.
Puts it in perspective.
Well, and I think so many times it's just so weird that, so many times as people, I feel like we think that there's like this sandbox that we have to play in, but it's like, why do you have to play in the sandbox? Like, you got to be a little bit, not a rebel, but just get out of the box. Think outside the box. You know what I mean?
And do the way to stay positive is do some shit that makes you happy every day.
For sure. Fill your bucket.
Do some shit that makes you happy. Whether it's giving $5 to the guy who needs it and that made you feel good, that's positivity. You spread it. The other day when I was making those Twitch donations, hell, he was feeling good, but I was feeling good, and I was the giver. It was making me feel good to do something nice that I wasn't getting anything out of it except for the feeling.
Right, right. Obviously, I wasn't making you feel good last week because you avoided me. We didn't do a podcast on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You made up an excuse that the internet went out. I was like,
dude, that wasn't even a lie. That wasn't even a lie. And you know, I was busy Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The internet was out until about 1:30 p.m. and I had my daughter with me, so there was no like going
I know,
to.
bro. I know, bro. Plus, you're working hard, so it's all good.
All right, man. So that's it for motivation, man. Just get out there and do it. Do it till the job gets done.
Do it.
So next thing we got 2018 graduates, man. Now, Josh,
what would you say?
You're a high school. No, don't you make me go first.
Hit him with it.
You're a high school graduate. You're a college graduate. You've listened to this talk, I'm sure, 100 times. What do you have to say to these people, these kids that are about to graduate either high school or college today?
It's like the start of a football game. I'm going to defer to you. You're the heavy hitter. You're going to be 41 in July. I feel like you've got just a little bit more that you can offer on this topic.
Well, you know, I feel like I regurgitate because I listen to a lot of stuff, and the stuff I listen to, the reason I listen to it is because I like it and I believe in it. So I'm gonna regurgitate some of it. But it is at 22, you're 22 years old, buddy. You feel like you're getting old. You're somebody, right? You just graduated from college. You are on the way. The success train is pulling up and you're hopping on and you're about to go knock the world out. Well, slow your freaking roll, kid, because that's all you are as a kid. 22, 23, 19, whatever you are only a freaking kid. I am 41 years old, and in my mind, I still feel like I am 21. I honestly do. I feel like I can go do anything I want to today, no matter if it's a physical activity or if it's a challenging business opportunity. I can take it on today. But that age from 22 to 30 years old makes absolutely no difference in your life. You can start going to work and you can start banking away if you want to buy the car, if you want to buy the house, if you want to, get the new watch or whatever it is. You got to have a job for that. But if you decide to just travel, to do stuff that you really want to experience, that you want to just get experience in, like volunteering your time, going overseas, just doing all the crazy stuff that you think you can't afford, make a way to figure out a way to make it happen. Stay on couches, get you a part-time job in the summer, earn enough money to be able to take off for the next 8 months and go travel and do what it is you want to do. But whenever you turn 30, you're still young as hell. And you can create a beautiful career from the ages from 30 to 70 whenever you need to work, as you could from 22 to 70. Don't think you're old at 31, because you are not. You are still super duper young. And I wish I could go back and be 22 again and take my own advice and be able to listen to this podcast and say, dang it, Steve, go to New York City. Steve, go to Chicago. Go see what's in California. Do you want to go to Amsterdam? Go. Yes. Go. I didn't do any of that shit. And now I'm sitting over here and I preach it. And I think it's so important. I tell my nieces, whenever you graduate, do whatever it is makes you happy. That's another pointer. Happiness. Don't think because your mom said, oh, you're not going to make no money if you want to be a teacher. You're not going to make no money if you are going to go into this or that. They want you to be a doctor. They want you to be a lawyer. It's all great. It all sounds good. But are you going to be happy? This is your one shot at life. Do that. Just figure out a way to be happy.
Love it, dude.
That's it.
Love it. I think for me, man, I think a lot of young adults are like this. It's all about like trying to keep up with your friends and who's doing better and keeping up with the Joneses. I remember when I was a young buck, you're listening to this like rap hip hop, you want this nice watch, you want the Mercedes. Well, then you find out, I actually found out the other day from one of my clients, they have a Mercedes Benz. That's $750 for a freaking oil change. Dude, that's ridiculous. But where I'm getting at is I just pulled up Mint right now for you people that don't budget or youngsters that don't have a budget. Good for you. Maybe live life to its fullest before you're on a budget. But, you got your auto insurance, your auto payments, your internet, your student loans. Shit, student loans. Don't even get me started. All your eating out, restaurants, home supplies, your mortgage, your baby supplies. Like, I think, coming out of high school, are we talking about high school grads? Or are we talking about
college
grads?
Either way.
I guess I want to go for like high school grads, dude, because if I had to tell like young Josh or young Steve, what it's all about, I just think it's time to get like super practical, right? I think everyone's going to college to be more well-rounded. Well, I'm sorry, bro, but you're not going to be well-rounded by going to college. You want to get well-rounded. It's kind of like what Gary Vee says, like you need to go to Australia, you need to go to Europe, you need to travel around the US, see the Outer Banks, which I still have not seen. I don't know when I'll get to see it, but just get practical about everything. Like, one, what's your North Star? Where are you trying to go? From 20 to 30, I think so many people are playing not to lose rather than playing to win. If you're passionate about something or you believe in yourself, like now is the time to make it happen. I mean, so what? So you're gonna lose your life savings. What is that, like $200? Like, there's just it just doesn't make sense to me why you wouldn't just bet on yourself and go for whatever it is you want to do. But by all means, if your parents are paying for your college education, I would say have a nice vacation, bro.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I think you can be super duper practical by going into the trades, by becoming a plumber, an electrician. You can learn how to do all that stuff. You could flip houses then with that knowledge that you have, make your money work for you. I don't know. I don't think the way that I did it, by going to college, getting a B, just a BS, getting a major in entrepreneurship, business administration. I don't know. I think it's pointless.
Yeah. I got a degree in communications, public relations, but most of the PR and communications jobs are like they're looking for people to write content. You know, I don't write. I get excited and I can pump something up and I get the gist of communications and PR, but I'm not going to go into a communication specialist type role. That's
Right.
not what it was meant to be. And another little life hack, I don't think we've talked about, but I've heard is, not necessarily take the job, like get a job with somebody that you want to be like and work for him or her for free or dirt cheap and sort of be their admin and shadow them and see what their life is like at a young age and see the work ethic that they put in and learn from them as you go. And that would be a really valuable education. Like if you got a friend's dad who's the CEO of a, I don't know, not a tech company, but just a company, and say, hey man, I wanted to work with you this summer, just sort of shadow you, follow you, be your admin. I'll do it for free. That is still, even though you volunteered, you can put that on your resume. He can write you a review from the CEO, or if it's some other title, doesn't matter what the title is, but having that work experience, it doesn't have to be paid work experience. You can add all that stuff to your resume. I
Right. For
add
sure.
anything and everything to my resume. This podcast that we're doing today, me and Josh run this thing. Hardly anybody listens to it, but it's on my
Yeah.
resume because I do a podcast,
No
create.
one, no one listens to it yet.
Well, yeah,
We're getting there.
yeah, it's increasing. The stats are increasing on this thing. Now we're doing something.
But at least you can then, I mean, it's perfect and awesome that you add it to your resume, because then you can teach people how to do it. I mean, there's a lot of behind the scenes work that you do as well to get everything ready and to publish it. I mean, that's a lot. 95% of people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and we're just trying to beat Casey Neistat out on his podcast.
yeah,
Although I know, and his wife has a sexy voice, dude. If my voice was sexy, we might have some listeners.
yeah, he's not known for his podcast though, so he's YouTube sensation.
Yeah,
but he knows the importance of it, so he's then gonna pull his YouTube audience over to audio because not everybody can sit and watch every day. So he's giving them something to communicate, a way for him to communicate to them through audio. Makes perfect sense.
For sure, man. Dude, and can I just take a step back real quick?
Yeah.
Because I feel like some people maybe would miss or misconstrue what I was trying to say. I'm definitely not saying that school is not important. But I don't think that, your butt has to be in a classroom to learn. I mean, I consider myself, and one of the things that I'm dedicated to is being a continuous learner. I love where, like, most real estate agents don't like going to continuing education classes. We have to do 15 credits a year. I love that. I love learning. I love learning something new every day. I love learning from Steve. I'm always listening to Steve or other people. I always figure I've got one mouth in 2 ears. 2 ears means you need to spend more time listening than you do talking. And that's just one of the things that I really focus on is listening to people, listening what little tidbits I can learn, what didn't work, even analyzing things that I did over the weekend, like what could I have done better at my open house? I think you got to think about that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a little stress hit me over the weekend. We were at the pool yesterday having a good time. This is kind of a sidetrack. Sorry about that.
Oh, I love it.
Talk about a little stressful moment, but we were at the pool yesterday. Everything was fine. Everything was great. Had a couple beers. Wife had some wine. We were hanging out with some friends. Kids had a blast. They were swimming in the pool. They had friends. Man, what are you drinking there, Josh? Audience is curious.
Sorry, this is the Savage Juice, man. This is the cold press from Caribou Coffee, who is not yet a sponsor of the show, but they soon will be. Sorry, Steve. I am listening. So I'm sorry. You're at the pool.
Sounds good, man.
I mean, the dad body is just looking on fleek, right? You got that SPF like 30 all rubbed in.
No, I go for the first like 2 or 3 sessions in the sun. I go bare. I like to get me a little pink action, give me a nice little burn. Feels good.
And then you overdo it, and then you're all like Shaded Steve.
Yeah. Then I wear a long sleeve shirt the rest of the summer.
Shady Steve. I'm sorry. Why'd you get all stressed out? Now I'm concerned.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna tell you. Well, we get back to the house and we're throwing some stuff on the grill. We had made some scallops. That's what she wanted for dinner. We did scallops. We did these roasted potatoes. It was really good. But we're sitting on the back porch and we're eating dinner on the back porch. And I was thinking, about work the next day, about how I was stressed out. Things don't always go as planned, and you have to go and you have to explain yourself and you have to jump through those hoops. And, I have somebody to report to because I am not the end all be all at work. So I have to go in there and provide prove my worth to the company every day. And I was going to have to go in this morning and do that. So I started getting stressed out about it yesterday, but it was Mother's Day. And I was thinking back to the times whenever I had other jobs and been in similar situations where we were grilling on the back porch on a Sunday, and the good mood that I was in these days. Like, I've had some really good times on the back porch with my wife and family where didn't have a care in the world. I can have me a couple extra beers. I can flip the burgers. I can, spray the water hose at the kids while they're running around. But yesterday I found myself stressed and kind of, I was thinking about it. But then I started thinking to myself back to those days and saying, I can't pull out negative Steve here and stressful Steve here and rub it off on my wife. This is her day. Her job is going great. Everything about our life is doing really good. Like, what good am I going to do by stressing out over my job and mentioning it or bringing it up over there? So it's just one of those things where I had to bat down that stress yesterday and sort of lock it up and kind of throw it away, even though it was still there. And remember that if I can just push through this time, I can get back to those more relaxing Sundays. So
for sure, man.
Yeah, it was no fun. I didn't like that. I don't like that feeling.
Don't bring out stressful Steve.
Stressful Steve, dude. That's the real dude.
So
yeah,
because I mean, you almost had a couple big sales last week, but people sometimes don't realize that that's how it is. And not to talk about sales, but like, so how long so stressful Steve kind of like came into your being about what, 2 o'clock yesterday, 3 o'clock?
No, about 5 o'clock.
About 5 o'clock?
Yeah, about 5 o'clock. It was getting to be closing time. It was gonna be bedtime soon, feed the kids soon. It was like, oh man, that means you got to go to work soon. And
your anxiety level goes up a little bit. So
anxiety. Yeah.
So how long did stressful Steve like really hang around from like?
He hung around until that point on the porch where I recognized it.
You were self-aware?
Yep. I saw that I was getting stressed out and I mentally thought about those good times that we had. And I said to myself, I cannot pull that out here. Now is not the time. It's Mother's Day. It's Sunday. It's beautiful weather. We're eating. We're celebrating. Lock that shit up.
Right.
And the stress actually left. It actually left me later that night whenever I said, be positive, basically. Go in there and act like your shit don't stink, and just I do have a lot to offer the company. Maybe it all didn't pan out last week, but that's no indication of what I haven't already done for the company. It's just a period, and I just got to push past it. I know it'll go away. So
For
I just
sure.
kind of like we're talking about removing that negativity. That's what I did. I was just like, let me just push that to the side, and it's me again.
That's right. Dude, it's kind of like Kenny Chesney's song. You got to save it for a rainy day. See, every once in a while, I like to throw in a good country tune because I think Stressful Steve sometimes thinks I'm just all about the hip hop and rap.
Whenever you sing it, though, it doesn't ring any bells to me.
Save it for a rainy day.
No, not in your singing voice.
Yeah, because I can't sing, dude. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Save it for a rainy day, cause the sun's too bright, the sky's too blue, the beer's too cold to be thinking about you. Gonna save this heartbreak and tuck it away. Save it for a rainy day.
No, see, there you go. There you go.
See, now
you just can't throw out a little 3 words like that.
Oh, see, okay.
See, I got into it that time. That was good. That was actually pretty good.
No, it wasn't. I wish I could sing, dude.
We're gonna clip that one later. We're gonna ask people to judge it.
No, don't clip it. Don't clip it.
Content piece. What are we at here? This is minute 21.
Minute 21. What else? What else we got?
The last thing is the importance of passion. Man, passion. It's been a big player in everything I've ever done in my life that I was successful at. And
what are you passionate about?
Dude, it changes. I mean, it can change from like something really important to something that's not important at all. But if I get behind it, I've always been able to prove to be successful. So if it's a new idea at work that we're going to be able to go sell, if it's a decision that I want to be number 1 at a particular category of sales in like one of my old jobs, we sold high mileage warranties to auto dealers. Well, it was a new category that the bank had unleashed to us, and there was no number 1 yet. So I was like, well, hell, there's a chance for me to be number 1. And I took the bull by the horns, learned how to sell it, asked people how to sell it, taught myself how to sell it, went out and sold the shit out of it. I just believed in myself, 100%. And I just got passionate about that one thing and became, the all-star at that particular topic. If it's coaching my team, if it's usually it relates to like work. Like give me an idea. Got to have a fresh idea, and it's a mix between excited and passion, I guess, because I want to be excited about it. Like if I can really get excited about it and I know that I can go sell it and I know that people need it, there's no stopping me. And then that's where I guess the passion builds, because I want to go out and prove myself that I'm right. I mean, that's it. Just find the passion, believe in yourself, and just go prove it to yourself and go do it. I don't even know if that makes sense tied together, but it's just that feeling, that passionate feeling, really believing, being excited, and just knocking it out of the park. Raising money for lung cancer in the past. Friend's father died from lung cancer, and she was putting together a team to raise money. Well, for some reason that clicked with me. It was that feeling of doing good, and makes you feel good. So I jumped on that bandwagon and started raising money for her team just out of the blue. Didn't even really know her that well, and raised thousands of dollars. And I kind of got, passionate about raising money and making her team successful. In the meantime, felt so good every time I turned in a check from somebody who donated. And I was getting these car dealers to donate $300 and $400 a pop, where,
wow,
one person
that's
donating
awesome.
like collecting donations on behalf of the team. If they turned in 400, they'd be an all-star. Well, I was getting $400 checks and turning them in. And I was just, oh man, there was nobody that felt better than me back then. I should do more of that. I should do some more fundraising for good causes.
You should do some of that, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, so is it safe to say that, what you're passionate about, it's kind of tied to giving back, and I'm at a loss for words. Just giving back, and
it's just shit you really believe in.
Yeah, just the feels.
Yeah, the stuff that makes you feel good.
But what would you say to someone who maybe doesn't know what they're passionate about?
I would ask them what what do they really, really like? Like, Josh, what do you really like to do? Like, just honestly, if you could do anything in the world today, what is it?
Anything, just anything.
Absolutely anything.
Be on a podcast with you.
You already got that knocked out.
Dude, then my day's made, bro.
And you're pretty passionate about the podcast. I know how you like to have episodes out on time. You like to put the content out. You like everything about it.
I do, man. I do.
That's why we're going to be successful.
I hope so, but you told me we're a limited time.
We got 1 year, dude.
We got 1 year.
We got 1 year.
Please, you guys, start listening to this. Tell people to listen to it, because if we don't have any listeners after a year, Steve is going to hang it up. No, that's not what I call passion.
Yeah, 1 year, man. It's a 1 year passion project. It's a passion project, man.
It's a passion project.
Once we've done this, nobody's going to be able to say I haven't done it. You know, I was passionate about starting a podcast. I'd always talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. Well, finally I got sick of talking about it and I actually did it. And now I'm doing it. Do it for a year. That's solid.
Give me 18 months.
We'll see.
All right. Yeah, dude. I don't know what I'm passionate about. I mean, I like music. You know, I'm not going to sit here and listen to music all day. I've been debating whether to get like a guitar, maybe become like a songwriter, maybe get some turntables and become like DJ Bonix.
I was thinking we could turn this into a radio show. Like, let's go work with DJ Bonix, and instead of his noon show, maybe we could have a 6:30 p.m. drive the drive at 5 with your boy the Savage and Lopercon. You know, wouldn't that be fun?
That would be sweet.
That would be sweet, dude. And what all this stuff right here that we're doing, this is our audition tapes.
You know? There you go. That would be pretty sweet.
That'd be sweet that would be really sweet, dude. I would really enjoy that.
Do you think, is that where like this like whole streaming and like podcasting thing's gonna go? Is it, you know, because like right now people they go into like podcasts and they listen to stuff that's already like pre-recorded, right? But is there gonna be like an actual like live podcast that, you know, because I mean anyone can have a good podcast, right? If that's like edited out. I mean, I think that's kind of why I'm not overly romantic about our shit. I think we have a lot of opportunities. I think I myself have a lot of opportunities. You kind of have that more radio voice. You're a little bit more fluent. You're a little bit more of a, whatever.
Appreciate that, man.
But I think what I like about our shit is it's not edited out. Like, go on to YouTube. Go on to Anchor right now. Like, it's nothing's edited out to make it look better than what it is.
I know. Oh. And I think like that's like a morning show is all really what we're doing here. This is all this is, except for like if you take Bobby Bones' show, he is doing this with his buddies in a studio, and they're making dumb bets with each other. They're making jokes. They're having laughs. They're talking about positive. They're talking about, you know, some what's in the news type stories. They're just having fun. And then in between, they interview a country music singer, and then they hit play for the next 10 minutes of songs. All right. And then they say, we're back. You know, we've got a live special guest. We're going to do a live performance with so-and-so. It's exactly what we're doing here. And a lot of their stuff is recorded. They record it live and people listen to it live, but then it's recorded. And then my wife, she goes on to iHeartRadio and punches in 93.9 and listens to the Bobby Bones show that she missed this morning, later this afternoon.
And that's what's so interesting to me, man. Is like what resonates with people, because like, although I like country music, the last thing that I want to do is like listen to like a country morning show or listen to Bobby Bones. But, you know, DJ Bonix resonates with me, but that's not going to resonate necessarily with you or your wife. You know, I pretty much tune in religiously for DJ Bonix, but it's just so interesting, like what, you know, captivates people and why. And then, you know, kind of also in turn is like, I think just a lot of people, and believe me, DJ Bonix is not one of them. They don't take their like listenership for granted. You know, I can't say for like Bobby Bones, and I don't necessarily even want or need to go there, but I just think like I have a tremendous respect, I guess, for like DJ Bonix, and Gary V, who actually like interact with their guests. Although Gary, you don't interact with me that much anymore. You would rather interact with like haters, but whatever. It is what it is, dude.
That's what it is, dude.
I'm not really digging the new look of the 03 Gary V sneakers anyway. So, but
I heard the clouds in the dirt, man. That's the Carolina blue and the brown.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I still do like Gary. We're cool. Like we took a selfie together, and I do. Sometimes I'm a little envious of the success that Gary has. I just wish he'd interact with me more on Twitter, bro. That's it.
If you're listening to this, Gary, man, shout out to the Savage,
Yeah,
right
dude.
there, man. You be messing around with the Savage, Gary.
Come on, Gary. And Gary, by the way, like you said, what did he say? He put a challenge out there to people that do like 40 or 50 podcasts. Once he hit 40 or 50, he would come on the show.
Oh shit.
I guess we'll see if that's the case.
We'll see him at the end of next month.
Maybe.
Oh, so we're gonna go ahead and start wrap things up. Next podcast, we're gonna have a special guest. His name is Killingbird. He is the owner of Tournament Poker Edge. It's a poker training website. He met in a similar situation as to me meeting the Savage Josh Johnson. He met his business partner while they were in Vegas. They got to talking. They realized there was no poker training site for tournament poker, but there was for cash games. So they said, well, why don't we two get together and create a tournament poker training website? Now they are about 8 years in with thousands of subscribers per month. He just moved. He was my old neighbor. He just moved from North Carolina to Las Vegas. He left behind a bunch of friends. So we're going to get him in the podcast next to talk about his travel across the country. To talk about that feeling of leaving your friends, like how tough is it? You know, just sort of get an inside look at it. Something I've never done, but I always hated whenever my friends left. And also talk to them about really anything and everything that has to do with marketing, that's entrepreneurship, just the new opportunities that he has out in Vegas. So tune in for that one. It's at Killingbird is his name on Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff. At Killingbird, his name is Derek Tinbush. He is a great dude. He will be on here live with us next time. Josh, anything in closing for you? I am all good. Steve Loper is out. It's on you.
That's awesome, man. I'm excited for that. When you were telling me about that a couple weeks ago, I was like, that sounds really cool. So I'm excited for that. Hey, anybody that's listening to this, Mom, appreciate you. Thanks so much. Yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a great week and go out there and just make it happen.
And don't forget, guys, subscribe to iTunes, Anchor. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter if you can find us at LoperCon, at Selling Minnesota is where you'll find the Savage.
Subscribe to the vibe.
Yeah, subscribe, comment, like, whatever it is you can do. All of your support helps. Your pressing of a button means the world to us. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you guys later.
See ya. Peace out.